This week on Now Here with Chris and Kell.
Pretty sure they had a fire. I'm not 100% positive, but there are some indicators.
Alright, anchor is up and we are out. Bye bye Tenacatita. Chris is getting the hand lines out. I am manning the boat. So far, so good. Let's see if our autopilot stays on track. Just keep an eye on things. There's a few rocks out here we gotta avoid.
Roughly 4.5 nautical miles, or 3 hours later,
we are approaching Barra de Navidad. And conditions are a little swirly, but not like impossible. So we're gonna go for it. And here's what it looks like outside. Chris is reeling in the hand lines. No fish today.
Silly.
Chris finishes getting us ready to enter as we approach the bar. It's been a while since we've done a bar crossing.
We are getting close.
Never really had a bad experience, but the narrowness and potential steering loss are definitely worries of mine.
Looks pretty good. I don't see any white,
Me either.
so we should be okay
Okay.
to go on in.
That does look pretty narrow though. This fishing boat coming in, but he's way ahead of you.
Yeah, he'll be in there before me. Actually, it's kind of nice to be able to see what happens. It looks good. I was worried that we were going to have like waves pushing up our butts, but
yeah,
we got a bit of a swell, but that's it. I think we're going to be just fine.
Do you read anything about the depth here?
Well, I mean, I can see the depth on my charts. Do you see the next green mark or red marker?
Green marker, yeah.
18 feet,
We have a 6-foot draft,
17,
and it's getting more shallow.
15.
As long as we follow the channel markers, we should be just fine.
I need my next marker.
Right in front of that kayaker, there's a red marker.
What the f is he doing blocking the markers? We're at 13 feet. Where is the red mark? There isn't one.
It's right in front of this kayaker here.
Okay. Well, this is great.
Yeah.
This was way easier than I was worried. So far.
Okay, don't shoot your mouth off, Kelly.
I better not shoot my mouth while we're in.
This is ritzy.
Coming into Barra was a breath of fresh air. The lush tropical landscape was so inviting, and the character of this place was immediately showcased in the surrounding architecture. My head was on a swivel, scouting for traffic and foreign objects, but also incredibly distracted by all this life we had just drifted into. The swanky marina was up on our starboard side coming in, and it had some really sweet amenities, like this private beach. There was also this monstrosity on the same side that appeared a lot cooler than it actually was. It's just another abandoned project in Mexico.
What's our depth now, sir?
17. We
Okay.
pulled between 15 and 17 since we came in.
Alright.
There's the mouth of the marina to your right. Oh yeah, lots of boats out here.
We would later consider spending a few nights in the marina, but for now we're anchoring in the bay because it's nice, calm, and totally free.
So it looks like the anchorage is kind of like after this island, like on the back side of it.
Again, not a lot of other boaters out here, so we easily found a spot and dropped the hook, no problem.
What do you think, huh?
It's pretty crazy. Like out there it looks all rugged, and then you start to see palm trees come in, and then you're like, ooh. You're like, ooh, oh, boofer.
A boofer?
Okay, drifter is secure. Now we're gonna go head into town. Check it out.
We headed in towards town, not exactly sure what to expect, but we were so anxious to get off the boat, we didn't really care what we'd be doing. It was just a short dinghy ride, and our trusty steed Paul was the man for the job. Another thing we weren't quite sure about was where to tie up, but we did hear from some of our other cruiser friends who came here previously that setting a stern anchor is wise.
We're supposed to set a stern anchor or we will bash into a concrete wall.
Oh, that's good to know. This is rough.
Chris sets the stern anchor now. and I tie us off to this sketchy concrete protrusion.
How's my knot? Pretty bitchin', right?
All right, theoretically, the chain should pull it away from the dock. Just like that.
It's working.
Great success! Onward! Let's see what we can while there's some daylight left.
Pretty rough.
It is pretty rough. This is like where all the Instagram models get their picture taken.
I'm pretty sure they had a fire. I'm not 100% positive, but there are some indicators.
Dude, we need to do like a photo shoot here or something. This is awesome.
This does have a completely different feel from just about everywhere we've been in Mexico.
It does.
We've got a taste of Europe. Farther south too, like when we were in Costa Rica.
Yeah, definitely getting some Costa Rican vibes here.
Oh look, Kelly, it's official. We're in a real town. There's an OXXO. It's at least a one OXXO town. I have a feeling there's going to be more.
I bet you're right. I have a good feeling about this.
Should we go this way? It looks like a main thoroughfare.
Yeah.
We zigzagged the streets and took in all the colors of Barra, from these giant city sculptures to the front porch decorations, and everything in between. Some of what we saw was a little peculiar, but we just kept walking and absorbing all of what we could. This was basically a scouting mission, as we both decided to spend a considerable chunk of time here.
Here we are in Barra de Navidad. Most of my head's here. Kelly cut off the wrist. Oh, there it is. No, it's too high. Just gotta turn your wrist too high.
Let's do that. We hung out just long enough on the pier to catch a magnificent sunset and watch some of the other boats come in, just as we did a few hours prior. It felt really good to be here, but now that the adrenaline was wearing off, we're getting kinda sleepy, so it's back to Drifter for the rest of the night. We have a big day tomorrow. This morning, we're off to do some exploring in the town of Melaque, and we're gonna hike there. And I've stepped up my packing game. I packed some bug spray this time. I got smart.
Yeah, she did. I'm touching her butt.
No, you're not.
How about now?
That's my butt.
I'm looking forward to today. We're gonna walk all the way down a big sandy beach or along a road, about 2.5 miles into Melaque. There's a bus to come back if we don't wanna like do all that fun stuff on the way, on the return.
Melaque is fun to say, don't you think?
Okay, so Melaque is fun to say, but we were hanging out with some South Africans and they kept saying Melaque, and so I can't get it out of my head. They kept throwing an R in there. Fair enough, whatever, but it makes it tough. I have to like concentrate and say it correctly.
Melaque. Step 1, deploying the dinghy.
Yeah.
Nice calm day.
It's a real team effort we make deploying the dinghy.
How am I supposed to film all this sweet action if I'm deploying the dinghy?
Kelly.
What?
Could you deploy the dinghy if you had to?
I think I could.
Want to drive the dinghy today?
Sure.
Okay.
Now what?
Now take me to town!
How's my hair?
Pretty great. Slow down a little bit and start getting the anchor out. You're gonna run us into a pier. Whoa, 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 that's way too much speed. All right, you ready to hit the road?
Yeah. Maybe pay the French baker a visit. We were here during the off-season, so we missed out on a pretty cool opportunity. But in peak season, this famous French baker will actually make early morning rounds in the anchorage to deliver all these delicious treats. We ordered some breakfast bites and floofy coffees, and then we were off to explore Melaque. Conveniently located along the way were workout stations to help counteract those carbs. Pit stop for presses.
Lift that fat ass.
You feeling the burn?
I'm literally lifting my fat ass. No, I'm raising my fat ass.
Anyway, we kept our fat asses moving along the trail until it ended and we hit a road. Once we got into this tiny town, we realized we might be the only people around. We've made it to Melaque. Taking the slow route. This is a little ahead of me. Just taking in the sights. Not a lot of people here. This town was super sleepy. The streets were quiet, and I think its citizens probably preferred it that way. Today I learned that not all dogs are friendly, and that beaches on the mainland have a lot more wave action than the Baja. We kept walking along in search of something to do, which led us to this convenience store.
Super Hawaii. Everything is without salt. Oh, cheese.
Oddly enough, this store had a lot of American products, and it's been a struggle to find good cheese here in Mexico. So we, of course, got very excited and made a few impulsive purchases.
These will make a burrito.
Yeah. Now, one sleeve of giant tortillas and 8 pounds of cheese richer, we head out to find some lunch.
After all that shopping, it's time to get some food. We walked by and this place had a lot of people in it. So we sat down and said, bring us food. We don't know what we're getting, but I bet it's gonna be delish.
That looks good. Yep, still not really sure what these were or how to dress them, but we both got one of each. And it's a good thing neither of us have any food allergies. Now shove that in your pie hole. Oh, surprise! Chris is adding salt. And apparently, I also wanted salt. It didn't take long for us to completely devour our lunches. Salt or no salt, these bites were delicious, and it was obvious why there were so many locals eating here this afternoon.
That was pretty tasty, and it was 80 pesos, Kelly. That's where it's at. It's quite a resort, huh, Kelly? Yeah. I wonder what their rates are each night.
Probably pretty cheap. Maybe free.
Yeah, or you could get shot if you try to stay there.
There was a food cart with a sniper on it.
What is it? Oh, that's right.
So there you go.
Come in here and die.
This must be the less desirable part of town to live in.
Well, we're trying to get to the Melaque, which is up here and then to the left. So we'll keep going. I think we're all right.
Eventually, we took a left and popped out on the beach with close proximity to the Melaque. It was then that things got a lot more attractive.
We found the Melaque, or at least close enough to it.
We kept walking along this seemingly abandoned structure all the way to the beach at the end. It was so private and secluded, we literally felt like we were on our own island. Some were not as impressed as others. But eventually we got on the same page, or at least reading the same book. After soaking in a little Mother Nature, we decided it was time to head back to Drifter, on account of our impulsive cheese purchases that were now melting in our backpacks. Taking the bus back made the most sense, and finding the bus station was super easy.
Don't pay. headed back.
After our bus ride slash chiropractic session, we were back in Barra de Navidad.
And now we can go home and make giant burritos. I think we need to go this way. And we're back. What a whirlwind adventure today was. 8 hours of non-stop walking.
We loaded our butts onto Paul and rode back to Drifter for some cheesy homemade burritos. But first, we had to pull up our little stern anchor.
God, man. This is like the nastiest place.
Ew!
Oh, that's better.
Oh,
yeah, we got it now. Everything's good. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you got a little leech friend.
I gotta say, this new arrangement is great.
Yeah? We've made it back. The dinghy is up. And now Chris is gonna make burritos.
That's right, I found some super huge tortillas.
Muy grande.
Ultimate burritos.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's my baby. It's well folded.
Thank you. I have practice. Is that everything you want from a monster burrito?
That is everything I want in a monster burrito. Thank you.
You're welcome. Burrito.
We mostly finished our burrito babies and then drifted into food comas. The next morning, we had big plans.
Today we're picking up anchor here in the lagoon of Barra de Navidad. We're heading into the marina, and the marina is super nice, and I don't think I've ever been this conflicted about whether or not to go into a marina.
Tune in next week to see why we decided to pull into another marina. And keep watching for this week's blooper reel, sponsored by our newest patron, Daniel. Thanks, Daniel.
We're here and we're having a great time.
Yeah, we are.
I'm dead. I'm bleeding.
Dude, how does it feel to be Kelly?
Pretty good. You do this?
I don't know. Probably.
You do this? You do this? Oh, I see. Smile.